Hi guys, welcome back to 100% Marks. So I hope you're all staying safe and well out there. So we're back in Premier League action once again as we go into yet another Sunday kickoff game. This time down at the Molineux, of course, with last Sunday's game being against Manchester City at St James's Park, which we all know ended in a 3-3 draw. So that means that we're going to this one looking to continue on that 3-game unbeaten run and make it a 4-game unbeaten run. And what better than Wolves, who are in a very bad position at the moment. They're currently 18th in the Premier League. They've lost 2 and drew 1. Of course, that draw was at the Molineux against Fulham in a 0-0 draw. That was the second game of the season for Wolves. And, of course, on the opening day, they lost 2-1 to Leeds United at Elland Road. And, of course, their most recent game in the Premier League, they lost 2-1 to Tottenham at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. Now, going into this game, there's going to be a lot of talk around the new signing, Alexander Isak. Will he play in the game? Well, I can't say that. In my opinion, it looks like he will because he's been in training today with the team. There's been pictures circulating around of him standing right next to Eddie Howe on the training pitch at Darsley Park. So, fingers crossed, that means that he will be in the starting 11. Come kick off at 2 o'clock on Sunday, which is of course on live on Sky Sports again. The whole allocation for Newcastle United is once again sold out for this trip, so that is again a fantastic show of how well supported this club is and how amazing our fan base is as well under these owners, even under the previous horrible owner as well. We were amazing fan base, still didn't sell out the games obviously for obvious reasons. But looking at the Wolves team going into this one ahead of our visit against Wolves, of course defeated Preston North End 2-1 at home in the Carabao Cup on Tuesday night. Bruno Lage's side, of course, like I say, are winless after 3 Premier League games this season. Defeated, of course, Leeds, like I said, and of course Spurs, and of course booking that 0-0 draw against Fulham as well at the Molineux. Now, taking into account last season that the barren Premier League run for Wolves extended to 10 games since a 2-1 success against Aston Villa at the Molineux back in April, that winless sequence kicked off with a 1-0 defeat on Tyneside. Of course, one of the 7 losses alongside 3 draws. So, hopefully for Wolves fans, I'm sure they'll be thinking it doesn't go on as long as it did last season. For us Newcastle United fans, we'll be hoping that it does go on for as long as it did last season, because we want to continue our unbeaten run for as long as we possibly can. This is a perfect game to do it. And like I said just earlier there, Alexander Isak could be playing in this game as well, which will be absolutely massive. Now, looking at our side for this one, Newcastle will travel to the Black Country without John Joe Shelvey, Callum Wilson and Emil Kraft, but Ryan Fraser, Jamal Lascelles and Dan Burn should all be available. Now, Jamal Lascelles picked up a broken nose in the game against Tranmere Rovers, just gone in the Carabao Cup, so we'll have to see what happens with that one. But even if he does, and even if he is available, he's only going to end up being sitting on the bench anyway because of the players that are already ahead of him, like Dan Burn, Sven Botman, and Fabian Shaw as well. But the availability is still there. They're going to be available for that game. The new arrival of Isak is yet to be determined, but in my opinion, I think he will play on Sunday. Like I just said earlier, he has been pictured in training with the players from a picture that's circulating around, which really does look like him standing next to Eddie Howe. So in my opinion, it is him. I'm going to go with that. You can make up your own mind, but I'm going to go with saying that it is Alexander Isak at the side. It's just too much like him not to be him. A lot of people were saying, it could be Murphy, could be Joe Willock. The height alone, just tells me that that's Alexander Isak standing next to Eddie Howe. Of course, Newcastle have scored exactly 1 goal in each of the last 8 home and away Premier League meetings, with Wolves 9, if one includes, of course, the Championship games against them. Now, if we look at the past 6 meetings against Wolves down at the Molineux, Newcastle have drew 3, lost 1, and of course won 2 in them past 6 meetings. Now, in the most recent game, of course, we lost 2-1 to them in the 21-22 season. That was, of course, Jeff Hendrick scoring the only goal in the game. The season before that, of course, was a 1-1 draw, with Murphy scoring the only goal in the game for us. A 1-1 draw the season before that as well, with Almiron scoring the only goal in the game. Isaac Hayden before that scoring the only goal in the game in a 1-1 draw as well. The Championship season of 16-17, of course, see Mitrovic score the only winning goal in the game for Newcastle, win 1-0. And of course, for Premier League wins at the Molineux, you've got to go back to the 11-12 season when Demba Ba and Jonas Gutierrez scored the goals in a 2-1 win in the Premier League. So it's going to be an interesting game, this one. It's going to be a close game, I think, as well, even though Wolves are in 18th place and we're currently sitting 6th place. You can't underestimate Wolves. They've got some pretty good players there. Adama Traore, you know, they've got Raul Jimenez, they've got Ruben Neves as well. Some really great players there, some amazing talent. So you can't underestimate them, but that's not to say, you know, that they're going to go out there and perform absolutely amazing. Like I say, they're having a bad time of it at the moment. Hopefully that continues when we play them on Sunday. The referee for this game, of course, is Peter Banks. Now, he's fresh off duties of an action-packed VAR duty covering our game against Manchester City last Sunday. And he, of course, is going to be refereeing this game. Now, he's a Scouse whistler, as we all know. And the last time he took charge of Newcastle back in April, it was when, of course, Wolves were beaten 1-0 at St James's Park. On VAR duty, it's going to be none other than Lee Mason. Now, hopefully, Lee Mason doesn't have to get involved that much in the game in VAR duty, because we all know what Lee Mason's like. He's a bit of a dodgy ref, to say the least, and hopefully, you know, he doesn't have to have that much of a say in the game. Peter Banks isn't the greatest ref neither. You know, he's been quite questionable at times when he's reffed games or when he's been on VAR dealing with Newcastle games. So hopefully, you know, it is a little bit down the middle, you know, not too one-sided towards Wolves, because we have seen it in the past with Peter Banks. We have seen it in the past as well with Lee Mason. But this is going to be an interesting game. Like I say, it's going to be a tough one as well, because Wolves do have some pretty good talent there. But hopefully we'll get to see Alexander Isak get his starting game for Newcastle United wearing that number 14 shirt. And hopefully we'll get to see Alexander Isak score his first Newcastle United goal as well in a black and white shirt. But let us know your thoughts down in the comments below. If you can, please hit a like on the video, as it does help the channel to grow. Also, share the video around as well to your friends, as that also helps the channel to grow. And if you're new around here and you haven't done it yet, I have noticed quite a few people are watching my videos that aren't subscribed. So if you can subscribe, that would be amazing, as it does really help to grow the channel and help us get the reach out there to a wider audience as well. And if you haven't seen the video of my thoughts on the signing of Alexander Isak, do go check that out. It's up on the channel today, and also there's other videos up on the channel as well. And make sure as well to check out the 1k subscriber prize draw, where you can be in with a chance of winning for just £2 a brand new Newcastle United shirt from this season with Bruno G39 on the back. And of course, make sure to go check that out, and you will find out the details in that video. And I'm going with before I end it off, I'm going to go with Newcastle to come away from this game 2-1 winners. Till next time, how are the lads?